Welcome to webinar Resilience DNA of Success. Our resource person is Mr. Venkateswara Rao, a successful entrepreneur. As a successful entrepreneur, we invited him to share his experiences, how to become a successful entrepreneur, and how I'll give introduction of his professional career and all those things. Mr. Venkateswara Rao graduated in commerce from ANU in 1977 and completed articles in chartered accountancy with Brahmaya and Co. Vijayawada in 1981. He executed civil contracts in laying roads, bridges in Panchayat Raj and Public Health Department of Government of AP between 81 to 85. Later, he started his career as distributor for consumer goods for Tata Tea, Tata Oil Mills, Marico Industries Limited, and Wipro Limited for about a decade and a half between 1985 to 2000. He was a distributor for Supergas simultaneously for a period of 3 years around 1998. In the year 1999, he started SAFENVIRON exclusively for collection and disposal of biomedical waste in Vijayawada city through with an agreement with Vijayawada Municipal Corporation and Indian Medical Association Vijayawada chapter. He became a licensed operator of AP Pollution Control Board after the establishment of biomedical waste treatment plant near Chinakakani. At present, SAFENVIRON is an operator dealing with collection, transportation, and disposal of biomedical waste from more than 1,500 establishments in Krishna, Guntur, and West Godavari districts. He has developed the organization on professional lines with trained manpower, fleet of vehicles, and well-established plants. Venkateswara Rao attended quite a number of seminars and workshops of matters relating solid waste management and in particular biomedical waste. He acted as a resource person of AP Pollution Control Board, providing awareness and training programs to several organizations, including IMA, Institute of Engineers, Engineering Staff College of India, social organizations, educational institutions, and government hospitals across the state. And he is involved in a lot of social service activities, and he is a keen lover of sports. Represented the state in National Ball Badminton Championships in 1980-81 and secured third place. Handled several responsibilities as an office bearer in Krishna District Ball Badminton Association. And he is a and he did a lot of social service through Rotary Club of Vijayawada East during year 2007-2008 and also served as a director vocational service 2008-2009, assistant governor during 2009-2010, director club services from July 2010-11. Now regional chairman, public image in the Rotary district spread over 6 districts from Krishna to Srikakulam. He is an active participant in all the major Rotary service projects and a multiple Paul Harris fellowship in the district. He made all the members of his family as Paul Harris fellows by contributing nearly $10,000 to Rotary Foundation. And he is a management committee member, Andhra Chamber of Commerce, Swargapuri. And it's our privilege to introduce Venkateswara Rao as a resource person today. And I'm requesting all the faculty members and students who are involved in this. And we are expecting speech of Venkateswara Rao will motivate you, and we are motivate you to move towards the entrepreneur, and in his career and his social responsibilities, he is fulfilled and nearly of 40 years experience. And as a chartered accountant, he started his career, and now he became a successful entrepreneur. And lot of things to learn I think his speech will get motivated. So I request Velagapudi Venkateswara Rao garu to start his speech.
Thank you, sir, for introducing me. Good afternoon, young guys and ladies. I am privileged to have spend my time this evening with you to explain my roller coaster experiences in life. So, the title I have given is Resilience, the DNA to Success, because I felt it is an apt situation because we are going through a pandemic. You all know you are not going to the colleges for the past 10, 12 months. And you know what situation we have faced and what are the things that are going to come and the precautions we are taking. So this is all made me to give some confidence by explaining about my experience of life and how I uh, turned my business into a successful one. I hope this will definitely, I think it will inculcate some interest to hear me. Thank you. Just I want to say about resilience. Resilience is an important ability and something that you can get better with time. But what makes you resilient? Developing a positive outlook, having a strong support system, and taking active steps to make things better can go a long way toward becoming more resilient in the face of life's challenges. Resilience is what gives people the psychological strength and cope up with stress and hardship. It's the mental reservoir of strength, you can say. I believe resilient individuals are better able to handle such adversity and rebuild their lives even after a catastrophe occurs. We must agree that at some point of time, everyone experiences varying degree of setbacks. Some may be minor and some could be disastrous. How we deal with show our resilience. The problem may be loss of job, financial problems, illness, natural disaster, divorce, and the death of loved one. Instead of falling apart, resilient people will face and come out of the difficulties very well. Of course, this doesn't mean that they experience less pain, grief, or anxiety than other people do. It means their ability to stand up and handle such difficulties with strength from resilience and emerge even stronger. So, resilience is the key to success because it changes your attitude and the way you respond to difficulty. Now, when come to the business and resilience, we all knew several obstacles may come in business in the form of competition, policy change, external environment, even in the form of manpower working in the system. To weather all obstacles and difficulties arising out of the times, we need to be resilient. It is one important thing among some other qualities we must possess. Let us take the latest disaster the world has come across with. COVID-19 has been an eye opener. It has made organizations across continents realize how much their business models depended on smooth sailing environment. In all honesty, 8 months ago, organizations were awfully unprepared for a pandemic marketplace compared to what was needed. The pandemic has also influenced the way today's workforce and aspiring talent plan their future. There is a fear of uncertainty and job security among many, causing them to shift their career objectives from depending on organizations as employees towards becoming their own hirers. But how difficult or easy to it to become an entrepreneur? The government at the center has been pushing the Make in India agenda, and that is broadly favorable to entrepreneurship. Small entrepreneurs are already benefiting from various advantageous policies, including single window clearances, government funding, loan policies, tax source, etc. Women entrepreneurs will also thrive on back of favorable policies, cognizant the way startups have shaped up during the pandemic. There are a few must-haves for entrepreneurs to thrive in the long term. Entrepreneurship is a mindset that doesn't fall prey to risks. This is very important. The most crucial characteristic of entrepreneurs is their ability to take risks. While the pandemic forced numerous startups to halt their businesses, some decided to leverage it an opportunity and make the best of it. For instance, when all the cinema halls and theaters were shut down for months, leading to ticketing giant Book My Show decided to support online events and help artists sell tickets online. Delivery giants Swiggy and Zomato also started delivering groceries and other essentials instead of pulling the plug. An entrepreneur is an ideal person always looking for a new, unique solution. Meetings, seminars, conferences were replaced by virtual platforms, literally what we are in now, making easy to bring the celebrities and busiest people onto you. One of it I will show you now. This is Mr. Vinnikrishnan, MD CEO of Saint Gobain, which I'm very much inspired by his speech during the month of August, where the COVID was at its peak. How confident he is, how confidence he is literally giving to us. Please go through it.
Sir, there is no audio coming out.
Hit చేస్తావు.
Sir, there is no audio for this video.
Audio not coming?
Not coming, sir. Just only slides we are writing.
Oh my God.
We are not
Okay.
hearing voice.
Yeah, one moment.
ఆడియో రావట్లేదంట మీరు మీ ప్రెజెంటేషన్ అన్మ్యూట్ చేస్తాం ఆయన కీపాడ్స్ మీరు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తారు లేకపోతే
కొంచెం ముందుకు పని దాన్ని. This audio you are not able to hear from the beginning or in between?
From the beginning.
That means
Hello?
your present this video you are playing that we can't able to.
Yeah, totally you are not able to hear.
You are not able.
Oh, okay. So I think, but for me it is coming. Let me check out.
Can you hear now?
ఇప్పుడు వినిపిస్తుందండి మీకు ఏమన్నా? Namaleswaru, are you able to hear?
No, sir. No.
Oh.
Video is not audible.
Okay.
Continue చేస్తారు మీ ప్రెజెంటేషన్.
So then slides forward చేసే fast గా, then I continue my speech. So we could send you in advance. That would be a better option. ఇప్పుడైనా వాళ్ళు పంపిస్తే వాళ్ళ నుంచి వస్తే.
అదే.
Shall we send it to you, the video?
Yes.
Yeah, better.
మీకు వాట్సాప్ చేసిన వాట్సాప్ చేసిన ముందు పెడతాను.
మీరు ఓపెన్ ఉందా? అది కాదు, అది వాళ్ళ లింక్ ఓపెన్ అవుతుంది.
అది ఇచ్చేద్దాం డైరెక్ట్.
Or if you send the file, we'll forward it to.
Yeah. అదే మీకు వాట్సాప్ లో పంపిస్తున్నానండి ఫైలు.
Okay.
అది చూడండి.
Yes, sir. We received.
Yeah. So in the meantime, I think it takes a little time, or you can do it immediately.
We can do it immediately, sir.
Okay.
Mail పంపించాను. Mail rvkirankumar@V.R.Siddhartha. Kiran Kumar. @V.R.Siddhartha.
Okay.
There.
అదే. Note. The note.
Okay. Okay, sir. We forwarded that to all participants.
Yeah, please.
Let me thank CII Andhra Pradesh,
Yeah, I'm able to hear it.
Krishna, CII Vijayawada Chairman Mr. Venkateswara Rao for inviting me into this session. Thank you, Mr. Paraswamin, for your kind introduction as well.
Video not coming.
I hope you can see my presentation slide.
ఇక్కడ పెడతా వీడియో రెండు పంపించచ్చు ఒకసారి.
So wherever you are
Sorry,
in Andhra Pradesh or any part of
You can switch on video, sir.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I hope you, your family, your near and dear ones are safe and healthy. So when I was asked to talk about leadership lessons from
Yeah. ఆడియో పోయినట్టుంది.
or in our case, this crisis, and what kind of immediate treatment you need for your recovery, or how do you cope with the immediate future?
Full boss.
I think many of us always had business continuity plan. We also had the business continuity plan, but all that had to be completely modified to really confront the issue. It had to be completely renewed. And in Saint-Gobain, we started relooking at the business continuity plan as early as maybe late February or early March, much before the lockdown, and clearly defined different levels of the crisis. I remember at that time, we had defined it from L1 to L4. We used the letter L for level 1 to level 4. Little did we realize that L also stands for lockdown, as it happened. And we defined what are these each levels of the crisis and what should be our response. Crisis management committees were also formed in each of our sites. So incidentally, we operate in 3 states. We operate in Tamil Nadu. We have a plant in Gujarat and also in Rajasthan as far as the glass manufacturing is concerned. We have a sand processing plant in Andhra Pradesh in Tada. We formed the crisis management team and also for certain functions, especially in sales and marketing and in finance. The top priority was very clear, that health and safety of our people is the first and the most important priority. The key lesson for me at this stage really was not to get flustered, be emotionally really resilient, and with a calm mind, work out different situations and responses together with your team. I think that was the biggest learning at that particular point in time. And as it happens, as an athlete receives treatment for the injury, what we needed at this stage in our business was the essential ingredient for our business. Let me remind all of you that we are in the flow glass business. It's a continuous process industry where once we start a furnace, we cannot stop it for the next 18 to 20 years unless we are willing to waste around 700 crores per furnace, and we have 5 furnaces or plus 6 months of business in each one. So key raw materials had to be in the plants. The fuel, natural gas supplies had to be continuous, and more importantly, the key people required for critical operations had to be stationed inside the plant. Not just that, I think all of us also had to learn a new way of life. So as a leader at this stage, what I realized was one cannot be in the background, nor could we delegate. One had to be really hands-on, detail-oriented, asking many questions and evaluating different scenarios that may emerge. It was also important for the leader to be seen leading from the front. As the lockdown was announced on the 24th March at 8 o'clock, with effect some 4 hours from then, there was panic for people who were inside our plant, even more for their families back home. A calming presence from the leadership team in the midnight amongst all of them was very, very important. Not just to keep the morale high, but also to give a sense of safety. Like an athlete copes with injury and rehabilitation, in most cases, for them there are prescribed procedures and routines. But unfortunately, in our case, it was a completely new experience and nobody had a clue on how the pandemic would evolve. It therefore required us to be in touch with all our customers, suppliers, do a quick assessment on the working capital, on the receivables, on the payables, all that part. Talk to as many people as possible from the industry and the ecosystem. Every interaction was very insightful. And the leader, I realized, has to be very humble to take input from everyone around you. But at the same time, do not get confused. Take necessary insights for the business decision. I think this was very critical to get a 360-degree view and get inputs from everyone. It was also a time to remind ourselves that we are just a small part of the ecosystem. There are even more challenged people around us. First, the local authorities, the police personnel, health workers, migrant labor, whether they work for us or otherwise. These are important people. People in the villages around you who have lost their livelihood. This connect was very, very important for us because it was also a way of ensuring that we are enabling the lockdown compliance and not putting stress on the local administration or the system. We are supporting a fragile and a very, very shocked ecosystem. I mean, as seasoned business people, if we are shocked, we can imagine how the entire society has taken to this particular lockdown and the pandemic. It is also equally important that we support our employees and their families in different parts of the country for basic supplies like groceries, vegetables, even medical support. We were privileged to support during this time thanks to the help desk that we set up right in the beginning. A husband to reach his wife who was in labor in the midnight, For a son to be with his mother was very critical before she actually passed away the next day. For another son who could reach his ailing mother and give her the necessary medical support for recovery. So it was necessary, it's very important for us to realize that we are also human beings. It's not just business. I think we have to be extraordinarily empathetic at this point in time, especially with the key stakeholders around us. As an athlete, when you are recuperating, you also need to be very careful about your diet. I think it also is relevant for us in our business, so that we remain fit when we restart our business. We use this time to rewrite our norms on the inventory, norms on the receivables, on payables, relook at how we can do things very differently when the business scales up again. Many of the processes and structure of people have been redrafted. An industry like float glass, where fixed costs are very high, we have been burning, just to give you an example, we have been burning 1 crore a day only on energy without taking any production output. So it's important to look at all cost reduction options. We have a few hundred small and big projects running across the organization, across different sites and functions. As a leader, I realized that we need to be very, very decisive. There will be tough calls to make, may not be palatable to all, but it's an opportunity for us to rewrite the script of our business, and you can't be in two minds about it. I think this was something which is a learning at this particular point in time. The athlete is always raring to go, running again. And so are we, I'm sure all of us in this call, also raring to go back into our business. It's important that we have a business restart, revival, recovery, ramp up, all starting with our kind of a plan. So what we internally defined it as BRP, business, you can call it business restart, revival, recovery, ramp up plan. And this time we defined it from 1 to 5. Because none of us can predict the exact nature of the revival. And we didn't want to hazard a guess on, different projections on the economy and things like that. Therefore, we just decided to build a few scenarios. Define what objectives and actions we need to take for each one of those scenarios. Regularly review at the business and function level. And I do that every week. With all the functions, apart from the daily continuity plan reviews. And keep making course corrections on resource allocation, on priority of actions. One has to be creative, definitely at this stage, in this kind of an uncertain times, to define the scenarios. But also need to be very, very focused on which ones to pick and what actions are required on that particular day, on that particular week. What you do as an organization can have long-lasting impact on the brand by itself. Therefore, it's important that even in this crisis, we don't change our behavior, our basic behavior. And the leader has a duty to really ensure that the entire organization, and in particular the leadership team, lives by the character and values that the organization really stands for. So communicate enough with the stakeholders, with employees, with customers, with suppliers, local community, with government authorities, and also keep a close watch on the social media. I think it was very important for us to do that. So we had constant communication. I made at least 2 or 3 rounds of communication with the customers all over the country. We have regular interaction with different teams, which is done on team calls and Zoom calls and things like that. Every Monday, all the employees get a mail from me giving the status of how we are progressing as a business, what is happening around us. This is absolutely essential for us to do that. And I can tell you, social media is very good, but equally dangerous. It's also important for us to keep a watch on what is happening in the social media on your brand. Are there any adverse comments? These are early signals that we need to pick up so that we act, we douse the fire before it becomes, a raging one. India is opening up slowly. but surely. We are all hoping for revival of demand. As I said earlier, it's tough to predict the evolution. I'm not sure that there are ready-made strategic frameworks or business models available to deal with this crisis. As a leader, you have to trust on your instinct. Stay on course with the new approaches, processes, and practices that you have defined. Because these are changes that you have brought into the system. It's not easy for the organization to adapt and stay with that. As a leader, you have to be firm. You have to be very firm, trust on your instinct, and keep working, keep persisting.
Wait for some time.
Study.
Sorry, ask my employee, not this meeting.
It can serve as a partition in so many places. You can still see, you can still, feel the presence of other people, yet have the social distancing and the hygiene. So there are teams which are working on different ideas for business development as well.
Fast forward
And to me, probably the most important is that we should remain totally positive. Among all the negative news, today you open a news channel, you take a newspaper, you look at WhatsApp messages, we have lots and lots of negative news around us and pessimism in all kinds of media. But there are also bright spots, and it's for the leadership to pick up those bright spots. We see bright spots in terms of specific segments which are doing well. We see bright spots in terms of specific geographies, locations which are doing well. Energy costs have come down in a big way, and for a country like India, for manufacturing, it's a big boom that the energy costs have really come down. As I said earlier, there can be newer applications for our existing products. So there are lots of bright spots, and it's for the leadership team to identify those, draw attention of our employees and the customers on what we can do to capitalize from these positive bright spots. This is very, very important, as the key to our collective success is in the economic revival. I think Mr. Ramakrishna, in his opening remarks, he mentioned about the economic revival and how we are all looking towards that. I think it is very, very important that we don't fall into a vicious cycle of all the negative comments and the pessimism. Rather, we should build a virtuous cycle where the economic revival can happen, and that can happen only with collective optimism. So these are, to me, what are the lessons, what I've learned during this process. I think we all fall, but only to rise again. So these are the lessons. I mean, it so happens that it's just a lesson of lessons that I have learned during this crisis period. And I am sure these lessons would help all of us to beat the crisis and become, I don't know, legend, but I'm saying we can be back to what we were, at least prior to the COVID situation that we were. And let me leave you with this thought from the great legend, Usain Bolt, that, how he defined, how he became a legend. I don't know whether we can call ourselves as a legend. We don't have to, but I'm sure we can all aspire to become one, despite all this crisis around us. Thank you, and I wish all of you safe and healthy days in the days to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your patient listening and hearing. There is a little problem. I think because of you experts, we come out of it. When it comes to my personal life, just I am very seriously thinking of giving it to you because I am very much inspired during this COVID time. The speech of Mr. Vani Krishnan from Saint Govind. About my life, actually, all my family members are bank employees. So it's a deviation from their thoughts. There is a saying in, the saying goes, tell me your friends, I will tell what you are. So right from the college days, all my friends are businessmen, most of them. 90% of my close friends are businessmen. So I got that instinct to become a businessman while joining in intermediate itself. So after completing the graduation, my father wants me to join in a bank. My other two brothers were joined, they become the officers. So he also want me to join, get married, and settle in life in their thoughts are like that. So I am different. So I am very much strong in my feelings that I selected my career to go for a business. So after little frustration in the house, and my elder brother has convinced my father, and so that's how I joined in Brahman Company, did my articles. After completing articles, my father again blamed my brother for allowing me to go for further studies without completion. Then I joined in a contracts, civil contracts, with my one of my brothers, and on his name the work is, because it needs some permission registration with the departments, which I don't have. So work has been done, executed by me totally, and it has to the best compliments of the department, especially Mr. Kondal Rao, the SE at that time. He retired as the CE from area Panchayati Raj, and he is the instrumental in doing that Rayalaseema water, drinking water supply by Sat Sai Baba. Such a great man, very sincere officer. He used to tell in his meetings, you go there to Nandigama, one commerce student is doing excellent job. You engineers, you had to learn like that. That was when I was young of 21 years. So it's a great feeling. I come out of it without profit. Of course, the profit has come, but it's not shared to me. Then I started with the elder work also. It has become such. Then I decided to have it on my own. So starting a own business is always a problem because, as I told you, I am coming from a business family. Investment is a problem. Then I came to know about Tata Tea Limited, and I went to Bangalore and met the general manager, Mr. J.R. Master, a Parsi young gentleman, 6 feet 3 inches tall, very long. And I met him and I explained my situation. He stared at me for 2-3 minutes because they don't have a credit policy. I asked for credit. I sell and pay, I told them. In Vijayawada, their market is very low. Hardly they are selling 1,200 to 1,500 kgs. He stared at me for 2-3 minutes and then said, young man, okay, I'm allowing you 1 month credit, but be sincere, huh? He said. I said, sure, sir. So after, when I was struggling in the market with low turnover, after 6 months, the tea rates started going up. At the time, the tea kg per kg, you don't believe, it was only 15 rupees 50 paisa per kg. So every month it is going up by 4 rupees. And the GM is kind enough to give me at the old rate with a new print. That is 4 rupees extra the rate. My margin was only 3%. On 15 rupees, I get only 45 paise, whereas I'm getting a bonus of 4 rupees. This 4 rupees, I used to develop the market. So I want to tell you, don't swallow all the profits. You always invest for the future demand, future market. So I did a lot of schemes and I have given discounts. And within 1 year, the market, the rate of the tea has gone up to 75 rupees. And my market share in the tea is 10,000 kg per month. From 1,200 to 1,500 to 10,000 kg. The 35-year-old Lipton stockist has resigned his dealership because his sale is totally taken over by me. Then I never looked back. I had taken Wipro, I had taken Marico, a consumer products of Wipro, Santur soap, familiar, and Sunflower Vanaspati, and a lot of other products they launched, and everyone is a success all India level. Actually, Revive from Marico, Revive is an instant starch. I got a national award for that, for selling more kgs in 1 month. So such was my experience in the consumer products market. And then after some time, when everything is going settled away, the multinationals started fighting in the market, and they are coming with a lot of strategies. And the Indian companies were frightened at the time and started dumping the stocks on us, on the distributors, and collecting the payments. So this become a financial burden for all the dealers, and they are in the business for ages. Where I am a new entrepreneur, I was the first person to come out of that market totally, resigning all the 4 companies I am dealing, nearly about 25 lakh rupees per month turnover in those days. I'm talking about way back in 1990, 92. I was one of the top stockists of consumer products. I came out of the market fed up with the policies of the companies. And after me coming out, nearly about 4 to 5 senior dealers and stockists went bankrupt after 1 or 2 years because of their bad policies, that is making them to invest more with low margins. So then I was looking what to do. Then one of my friend has told me about this gas, super gas, because the gas is totally in the hands of government. And in 90s, late 90s, they allowed the private sector also to bottle the gas and sell in the market. So I had taken super gas. When I asked for the Krishna, it is already given, so they have given me in precaution. So we have planned a new policy, that is a bank loaning. So that is the cooperative banks will give a loan to these customers in the villages and urban areas, semi-urban. So that has clicked very well, and it was moving very fast. But because of the local newspapers, some misconceptions, they started giving a news item continuously that there is something hand on that the money is changing hands in the banks, like that. So the CM was very serious at the time, and he asked the banks to stop giving the loans. And these private companies, they met the chief minister and explained about the gas giving free of cost to the gas connections, free of cost to the consumers. So this idea he took, and he made the central government to supply him lakhs of new connections, and given under the Deepam connection, Deepam scheme. You might be knowing, the senior people will know. Deepam was given in early 2000, 99, 98, like that. So because of that, that business couldn't make out much. It was closed totally. Then when I was appointing the sub-stockist for the district, Ongolu stockist happens to be a pharmacist. These pharmacies connected to the IMA Patients Hospital, where the doctor has inspired him to start the waste collection and convincing all the other hospitals, being a president, and took the waste to the barren lands owned by the municipality. They put them in a pit and burn it and fill it. So this was a crude method they were doing. And I came across a news item in Vijayawada that a amputated leg was dragged onto the main road by the street dogs. As mayor at the time, Mr. T. Venkateswara Rao is my family, my uncle. So I met him and I told him why this Bongolu is doing so much for this, how you can ignore this. He made me ask to come to the office and explained that this is the only municipal corporation which is having an instant data spending in those days 10 lakh rupees. Mr. Rajat Bhargava was the environmental engineer who was a commissioner at the time. So he purchased the instant data to manage the biomedical waste, being known about the ill effects of biomedical waste throwing into along with the solid waste. So the doctors were not convinced at the time. So when I took this subject to him, and he made me to meet the commissioner, Mr. Arvind Kumar, very next day, he's very dynamic. Very next day, he called all the doctors association leaders and made me to give a presentation to them. So after several meetings, they convinced, and he told them, I am not asking you to pay this much. You pay whatever you like. Accordingly, as an NGO, I started. For 2 years, I worked without profit. And then I took the license from AP Pollution Control Board, started SAFENVIRON, Chinakakani, covering both the districts of Krishna and Guntur. Even then, hardly I was catering to my services to hardly 300 to 400 hospitals in those days. But I am comfortable financially, and my employees are also doing good. And I started giving the workshops explaining the importance of waste management, segregation, and all. And PCB has realized this is the inauguration of tripartite agreement with the municipal corporation, IMA, Apna, and other part, and SAFENVIRON. This is inauguration at the time, Arvind Kumar, and you can see Simati Satyanaran Garu, the minister at the time, and T. Venkateswara Rao Garu and other dignitaries, MLAs and all. We started in Vijayawada Government Hospital. So it was well covered in the media, and because of that, the Guntur Corporation chairperson, Dr. Kuli Sarda also invited me. Mr. Krishna Babu was the commissioner, and he made all the doctors ready, convinced, and they actually, it is his plan to charge on bed basis. So which is now implemented all over India. Because this biomedical waste management is first of its kind, started in Andhra Pradesh, and in India, I am the pioneer in that. Being started when the act was made in 1998, I started in 99 on behalf of the corporation, and the plant was commissioned in 2002. This is the first plant we started in Chinakakani, covering Krishna and Guntur districts. So the dignitaries who came for the opening, Mr. Kudel Sivaprasad, Koli Sharda Garu, and other people. Next. So then in 2005, a bill was filed in Warangal that biomedical waste is being mixed with the solid waste, causing a lot of illness to the nearby inhabitants. So the High Court has taken it serious and made the member secretary of the Pollution Control Board to attend every week to explain about the how many registrations they made in that particular week throughout the state. So I am also summoned because very few operators were there at the time, 4 or 5, and I was given 2 more districts to cover. So I was working about 15 to 16 hours a day, explaining workshop, calling for the meetings with the doctors, because doctors come for the meeting only after 7 in the night. So there are instances where I organized meetings even at 10, 11 also in the night, in Narsaparaupeta and Ongole areas like that. So accordingly, my registrations with hospitals have improved a lot, and the awareness is being created. And by 2011, I think almost all the districts were having these common facilities. Now it is one of the most talked about business. And because of the government policies, they don't encourage the competition. They want the quality of the disposal. So accordingly, we have been doing it. And now I have separate plants in Guntur and in Jagepeta, that is SAFENVIRON 2, and in West Godavari, that is SAFENVIRON Associates, owned by, that is being operated by my daughter, who is an environmental engineer, Ms. Vandana. So we improve, we update, because so far 5 times the rules have been changed and improved for the quality of the disposal. So we updated accordingly from time to time, and we organized workshop. We used to create awareness in our staffs. You can see on the right side in the plant, we used to organize workshops on a periodical basis. So my staff are well trained, and we are one of the best operators in state now. So come to the COVID. So all March, COVID has come and asked us in lockdown. But we are the people who can't stay in the house, because we are given additional burden of collecting COVID waste also. Because already we were operating about 25 vehicles, and we acquired another 8 vehicles to meet the demand, and acquired more number of people. But the collection of COVID waste, people are so afraid, because our staff are already trained. We organized a meeting with the people. However, it is sure that we are going to die. We do some service to the society to the maximum possible, and let us, you raise your hand who are coming ready to come with me. Almost all the people, they are ready to work in the uh, pandemic. So some of them who are well trained, we take them for the COVID waste, and others for the normal biomedical waste, because it has come down the volume in normal biomedical, because most of the hospitals were closed, especially laboratories, clinics, and other small hospitals. Almost they have left the hospitals. Even now, 20% of the hospitals are not reopened, even today. Especially old doctors, old people, and other small enterprises. So we had done our excellent job, and you can see in the photo that that is the sprayer. It is my idea to disinfect the place, and even the vehicles also every day with that spray gun. So immediately I put it in the All India WhatsApp group, and almost all the common facility operators, they are equipped with spray guns, and they are using it now. So that's how we are sharing the knowledge. And we, with the waste from the pandemic was so high, because whatever they touch is treated as per the first rules say that whatever they touch is a biomedical waste and its pandemic waste should be treated separately. But even lots of food is also being sent to us. You'll wonder daily when we are collecting about 1.5 ton of biomedical waste, nearly 1.5 ton of food waste is also coming to us. So I made it a point to this Central Pollution Control Board, and I got it changed. This food waste is not a biomedical; it goes to the solid waste. Then the municipality has started collecting, and we are relieved from the burden of running 24 hours incinerator, because running 24 hours incinerator is quite a difficult job. So in the meantime, in July, my daughter first became the COVID positive. So I put her in a separate apartment which we own, and from there she was attending the office. And after 5 days, I also become positive. I came to this office and I stayed here, even though it is a moderate, that is 19 cycles, which is near to the severe. Even then, I stayed in the office and worked with the staff away from them, of course, in the room. But I was attending the, both of us have worked, even we never stopped working. So for 20 days, we were in isolation and but working, and we come out. But to my, what I feel great is no one of my employee become positive, even though they are handling the waste. Such was the situation. And we served 70 centers in Guntur, 50 centers in Krishna, and 30 centers in West Godavari. All the COVID centers were everyday collected waste as per the norms prescribed, and we disposed it successfully. This is the COVID waste. We have that online monitoring system. Every day we used to send the reports to the Delhi and even AP every day. So they used to give the report how much waste is being collected and all. So when it comes to the statistics, when I started initially, it was the hospitals were 225 earlier. Now we are handling more than 3,000 hospitals. Vehicles, we started only with 2 autos and 1 rickshaw. Now there are 30 vehicles we are operating. Manpower was just 8 people, and we started our plant in 2002, and now there we have more than 120 people working with us. This is the story of SAFENVIRON, and I am confidently going ahead for the future, whatever the change the government may take, and we are ready to face it. The courage and the confidence which I am possessed with, I think that is the reason why I am standing before you to explain about my success career. Thank you. These are all our plants. This is from Jagaipeta plant on the left side. You can see SAFENVIRON Associates West Godavari plant. And this is our main plant in Chinakakani. This is International Solid Waste Conference took place held in Nagarjuna University in 2018. They selected 2 places for visiting by all the foreign dignitaries, and we made our plant ready for them to visit them. They selected one is SAFENVIRON, and we just rebuilt the plant totally, and we got ISO certificate also. In all over India, we are the only people having that ISO 2001 certification. Thank you very much. I think I am in time.
We can't hear you.
I am not able to hear you, sir.
Thank you, sir. If any participants
Yeah,
want to share your views with sir, you can share.
sure. Actually, due to the paucity of time, I went very fast about me.
Yes, sir, it's very good to hear from you. And you collected all the waste from COVID centers.
Yes.
I think most of the people are afraid of doing that work.
Yeah.
I think you motivated your employees well.
Yeah, I am thankful to them for their service.
So anyone wants to speak with Venkateswara Rao? And we are expecting our students to visit your.
Sure, you are most welcome. Every month we have visitors from medical colleges. That
Okay.
community medicine department, they used to bring students of 3rd year, 2nd year. And we'll organize workshop in the plant itself, explaining how we collect and how we dispose. You are most welcome. Anytime 2-3 days before you have to inform. By that we can disinfect the plant and we'll show you.
Okay. How many people you allow, sir, maximum?
No problem. Number. Once we disinfect the plant, any number of people can come inside.
Okay, and that means we are dealing with bio waste.
Yeah.
I think you'll take a lot of precautions while doing
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking.
No problem. You can bring 50, 60
Okay,
or even below 100.
below
That's good.
100.
Yeah. My plant can accommodate.
Okay, definitely, sir. The next 1 or 2 months we'll plan
Yeah.
because we are having online classes. We can't get students also now. That is the
Yes.
major thing.
Yeah. That's right.
Otherwise, we'll plan within 1 week or 10 days.
Yes.
Now itself, we are calling offline classes. Slowly, students are coming to college.
Yeah.
It took 1 or 2 months to set right.
Yeah. We are almost back to normal.
Mm.
So we should go beyond normal. Because the lessons we learned from COVID. So everyone should follow self-hygiene now.
Yes.
So you have to make your hands clean, mind clean, heart clean. Be confident. You should be positive because it is sure that how long you stay in this world. So no worries, no tensions. Live life happily. And, yeah.
I think that's
That's
what you
what,
said in
yes.
the first words itself, developing positive attitude with respect to time.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's what
Definitely.
resilience DNA of success.
Yeah.
It's time we have to change our attitudes and we have to move forward.
Yes.
Anyway, sir.
Actually, my doctor has asked me, why don't you join in the hospital when I become positive? You see, they calculate in cycles, you must be knowing, when you go for the test, RT-PCR. 39 above cycles, it is negative. 25 to 39 is mild. And 16 to 24 is moderate. And below 15 is severe. Mine is 19. My daughter is also around that. So both of us, we never had thought of going to the hospital. We are confident nothing going to happen because we never afraid of the disease. We never afraid. Immediately when they say positive, she asked me, I become positive. Oh, you go ahead. You go and stay there. And from there, she was working on the computer job because she has to do a lot of information passed every day to the CPC, VPCV, and even to the collector. Every day, the collector is also very well involved in this. So she got a lot of things to attend. So she was doing her job from our guest house. So when I became positive after 5 days, I came to this office where all my vehicles will move from here. So I was staying aloof away from them, but through glass I can convey messages and intercom and all. So I did my job.
Okay.
So when we both doesn't attend the duties, nothing will move because we know we are an ESMA. We were put under ESMA, that is Essential Services Management Act, like doctors. So we never afraid of. So that confidence, definitely, I think that is the medicine we got. My doctor was also telling, he's my brother-in-law, he was telling, you are very confident, so nothing should happen. Even I'm afraid of only cytokine storm, they say, because of the antibodies that invade on our own thing. So if you feel that, you just drive the car and come to the hospital. I kept my car also ready here. So nothing happened. Everything went smooth. And within 10 days, I became negative my second test also.
Okay.
So I was in isolation for 20 days as per his advice. So we are back to our life.
It's good to see you. And your lecture will inspire our faculty and most of the faculty also they attended, faculty and students.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you, sir. We'll approach you. We'll bring our students to know about how your plant is working, what are the different processes and all those things. Let them know the things.
Yeah, Mr. Namaleswara express his interest to save some energy from the heat we are generating.
Yes, sir.
So our incinerator, we maintain a temperature of 800 degrees plus. So definitely you people are welcome to the plant and we'll definitely support you. And if you find something we can make out from that heat, some electricity or at least that can cover our autoclave, which is there. the steam can be generated and can be used for that. Some idea we are expecting from your engineering department.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for accepting our invitation and giving your valuable time.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, feedback link.
Okay, I'll send you. ఒక నిమిషం. Anyway, I'm sending feedback link to all of you. Try to fill it. If you fill this feedback form, you'll get certificate. Okay, copy the link. So I am ending meeting. You copy the link and you fill the feedback form so that you'll get certificate.